Tommy Prine has joined us here in studio. Tommy, welcome, man. So great to have you
Thanks
here.
for having me. Appreciate it, y'all.
Absolutely. And when you first came in, as I mentioned, I'm not sure if we're the first, but let us to be among the first to say congratulations on release day.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
The
Appreciate
album's
it, y'all.
out there in the wild, this far south, and you're actually going to be at Grimey's a little bit later this afternoon.
Yeah, 5 p.m. at Grimey's.
There you go. So you can actually swing by, say hello to Tommy, pick up the brand new record. So what's the feeling like? Is it excitedness? Is it nervousness? Is it all of the above? Is it?
I think it's like a new emotion, man. I don't know if I felt something like this before. It's like a birthday and like a Christmas, and then it's also like a job interview. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like all like, it's like everything all at once. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just so much like hard work in the last couple of years, and like I have such a incredible team around me, and like it's just a big accomplishment, not just for me but for everyone involved. And I'm just really proud to be where I'm at with this music right now and with the people that I'm working with. And yeah, I'm feeling real grateful today.
That's fantastic, man. Yeah, we've been playing Mirror and Kitchen Sink for, since we first got it here on Lightning 100. Loving that one, and looking forward to giving the rest of the album a listen. Again, it's This Far South. It is out now. You can order it. In fact, if you pre-order it, come out to Grimey's and Tommy will sign it for you, right?
Yeah, sure will. Yeah, we'll
that's
hang out
pretty
for a
cool.
bit, yeah.
Right on. So let's have you play a song for everybody out there in Radio Land. Play a couple for us this morning. Is that cool?
Absolutely. Yeah,
All
for sure.
Which one do you want to play first?
I'll do Mirror in a Kitchen Sink.
All right. We got Tommy Prine live here in the Volume.com studio on Lightning 100.
Juliet and Romeo didn't meet down at the rodeo. I think there's something special about what you don't know. Keep the world on their feet. Seems to me that you know it all. You learned it over beers with the Pope last fall and built yourself a castle with a big glass wall. Everybody knows you're proud, and I think that I win every single argument, but now it's you and me, a mirror and a kitchen sink. So what's the difference between you and me? I tell you right now, it's a couple teeth, and then I decide whether to not or be crueler than I already am. So here we are again, my friend. You beat around the bush, then you build a fence, so nobody knows what you really meant. I'm not so sure that you do, and it's true. And I think that I win every single argument, but now it's you and me, a mirror and a kitchen sink. Romeo and Juliet didn't kiss first, then become friends. There's always gotta be a middle and end. No one's gotta know how it starts. You'll say words that'll make you brave, and then you realize that you share a brain. And oh, here it goes right down the drain, faster than your eyes can see. And it's me. And I think that I win every single argument, but now it's you and me, a mirror and a kitchen sink, a mirror and a kitchen sink.
That's Tommy Prine live here in the Volume.com studio, Mirror and a Kitchen Sink. You've been hearing it on our airwaves. Now you've heard it live, and now you need to go get the record and listen to it there.
That's right. And head on out to Grimey's and you can say hello to Tommy, have him sign the record. We are streaming at volume.com. For those of you not watching, of course, this is Music City, so I believe you played that Capo 2, is that right?
That was Capo 2.
Capo 2.
Yes, correct.
But you gotta communicate that stuff to musicians in Music City. But love the acoustic version of that song, and I was reading a little bit, and I realized, and of course we're meeting for the first time, but I realized that we've got something in common. You mentioned at one point that you tend to create fake scenarios and people to argue with.
Yes, that is what that whole song is about.
So entertaining.
So of course this is your debut album. When did you first start playing guitar? Have you been playing for a while?
I picked up a guitar when I was a little kid. I think just like mimicking my dad, just kind of like, and also the only, like, my whole experience with like the adult world were people coming over to play music. So I thought everyone played an instrument.
Right.
I was just like, well, I need to start immediately.
I got to figure something out, right?
Life is so short.
Yeah, everyone's
exactly.
a musician.
Yeah. So I just started when I was a kid. And I just honestly, like, once I picked it up, I never really put it back down. So I've been playing for most of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Did your dad show you a little bit, how to play a little bit? Or was it one of those things where it's like, well, that was one thing that my dad wanted me to learn how to play, but he's like, I'll have somebody else kind of show you how, so that it's not like I'm over your shoulder all the time. But was that something that, are those memories that you have with your dad? Was learning how to play?
He showed me a G, a D, and an A, and then was just kind of like, this will be a lot of songs. He's like, you can figure out a lot of songs. And I was just kind of like, that's strange. So I just like looked up the other chords. And then once I started learning some songs, I was like, he was right. And I was like, this is a lot of songs. Yeah. So like, yeah, I kind of just like went from there, because when I was a kid, I was just like hitting it and making noise. And my dad was like, oh, why don't you try like doing this? He's like, that's called a G chord. And I was like, cool, thanks, Dad. Yeah. So yeah, he just showed me a couple and then just kind of released me into the world of loving guitar. So
yeah, man. Well, we're all glad that you stuck with it, bud, because we're loving that music, and I'm also kind of curious too, because of course, especially when you grow up and your father is a legendary artist like the great John Prine, you're going to have plenty of music in the house, right?
Oh yeah,
it's going to be the mom and dad's collection. I'm curious though, what was the first album that you actually paid money for? At what point did you say, all right, I'm going to buy some music, and it's because you heard something and said, I got to have that? Was there one that stood out?
Yeah, it's actually the first album that I ever bought myself was Speakerboxx Love Below by Outkast.
Nice.
Yeah. That was the first album ever, and Outkast is still, till this day, like, top, like Mount Rushmore. I love Outkast, especially Andre 3000. I love you, big boy, but Andre 3000 is like, he's like my North Star for being an artist. He's like the coolest guy in the world. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And I guess I should ask too, was it a CD?
It was a CD, yeah. It was CD, the hard plastic case CD.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I went and actually I got it at Tower Records.
Okay, so that's you're right in that same time frame. Yeah. That's I can remember I've been here at the station for a little over 20 years now, and I can remember doing in-stores at Tower.
Right.
And people are like, where's Tower? It's like, no, Tower's not around anymore, sadly.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
But thankfully, though, we still have Grimey's. Not only that, but of course, Grimey's was in a much smaller space then, and they're in a much bigger space now. Yeah. And again, Tommy Prine joining us here in studio this morning, and he's going to be out at Grimey's. Remind us again, 5 o'clock?
5 p.m. today, yeah.
5 o'clock tonight. You get a chance to say hello to Tommy and get that brand new album, which is out now, This Far South. And also wanted to ask a little bit about, and I don't want to steal everything, Mel, if you wanted to ask some questions. But one thing I'm really curious about, again, growing up in that environment and just, having a legendary artist as a father, I imagine you spent a lot of time in studios and whatnot. Growing up.
Yeah, I think just kind of like passing, through to go like say what's up to my dad. I'd be like, hey, like where you at? You wanna get picked up and go to lunch? And he's like, yeah, I'm at like RCA Studio A or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like,
right.
Cool. So I've definitely been, and then like the butcher shop, obviously, I spent a lot of time in as a kid. So
nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what was this experience like in making your own record? And I'm curious. And actually, Rustin Kelly was in not too long ago, and he talked a little bit about working with you because I know you played Out of Descend for his show, and he was one of the producers on the record. So how did Rustin and you connect and then decide, hey, let's make an album together?
So we met in like 2015, but it was like 2 a.m, and we'd both kind of like, we're just like smoking a cigarette, like, what's up, dude? You know what I mean? But then like I think at like it was like 2019 when he played at All the Best Fest in the Dominican Republic. It was a festival that my family was putting on.
Yeah.
And that is just coincidentally where I played my first set of my own songs. So he saw me do that, and then we just kind of hung out for a year, and we'd jam out together and stuff like that. And then I showed him this song called "This Far South" that I wrote a couple years ago, and he was like, "Well, we should make a demo of it just for fun." And then about 2 months later, he called me with Gina Johnson on the phone, and they were like, "This is gonna sound crazy, but like, you need to become an artist like full time, and we're gonna help you get there." Like, I still remember it was in November of 2020, and they were like, "You got to quit your job, and we're gonna do this thing together, and like, it's gonna be awesome." So that's really how it happened, man. It was like a kind of like a weird movie moment. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say, it's like you can't even script that. You know, that's so cool.
Yeah, incredible. And like, I mean, both of them have just been incredible friends to me, and really have been guiding me through this whole process. So I'm eternally grateful for both of them. I love them both very much.
That's awesome. And you actually got some dates with Rustin coming up later this year, right? Or was it just the one?
I think it was just
the
Ascend
show. Okay.
Yeah.
Margot Price will be doing some shows
Margot
with
Price,
Margot.
definitely
though.
Margot. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah, I believe in London I'll be playing with Margot.
Oh, that's so cool. And we also get to see both Tommy and Margot as part of the lineup for Pilgrimage Fest coming up in September. We were talking a little bit about that off air, that actually that's been one of those that's like, I'm going to play Pilgrimage at some point. I want to hang that poster on my wall. So it's coming up in September. Again, we've got Tommy Prine here in the studio. The brand new album, This Far South, is available now. He's going to be at Grimey's a little bit later on. And I think you're going to play another song for us, right? We're going to go with the title track?
This is the title track, yes.
All right.
This Far South. Yep.
All right. Tommy Prine live here in the Volume.com studio on Lightning 100.
Remind me of every single dogwood tree. I tried to reach out. I never see you this far south no more. And I can't seem to be any less than all of me, but that won't work out if words can't fall out my mouth no more. An angel, walk me through your garden, won't you please again? The nerves inside my heart in Germantown tonight, I'm learning that it's not good to fly. And I've chosen the habit that I'm dropping. Coming down's exhausting. I think I need some help. Turn me over. If sand could rise when we grow, then I would try to hold your hand a little slow. in your trees, but please don't reach out, 'cause I won't be this far south again. The nerves inside my heart in German town tonight, I'm learning that it's not good to fly. And I've chosen the habit that I'm dropping. Coming down's exhausting. I think that I deserve some rest.
Once again, that is Tommy Prine live here in the volume.com studio, the title track of that brand new record that's only been out for a handful of hours, This Far South.